Hello, I think you're live now.
Looks like it.
It would be great if you could just let us know if you can see us, if you can hear us, if the quality is okay. Just maybe write a little something in the chat.
Let's see, this is all very new to us.
Yeah,
we're not entirely sure. Oh, it looks like we are live. We can hear you and see you. Very good.
Wonderful. Hi, Lynn.
Quality is great.
Perfect.
Yes, we see you.
Perfect. Yeah, hi. Welcome to you all. So wonderful you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is completely new to us. We have to figure this also out a little bit. And yeah, we just thought we would have a little chat today maybe and answer some questions. So if you like, you can just leave us your question in the chat.
People are from all over the place. I've seen people from the United States, Italy, Argentina, Germany, Sweden, Norway, Chile,
Wow.
Israel, Italy, Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
It's so nice to have this community of people all over the world. And India, Bulgaria, France, Nordic Russia, Poland, Belgium, Greece, Mars.
Mars. Oh yeah. Okay.
BRW. Hi, welcome BRW.
Perfect. Wonderful. Hey everybody. Yeah, you have probably also seen it. Kalle is also here today. He's so nice to moderate this chat. And yeah, he has also given us some good advice for this live stream. So yeah, just so you know, he will be in charge of the chat a little bit and take care of some spam comments if there should be ones. And yes. I'm not sure if the chat is a little bit delayed.
I have no idea. But they did say it might be just, hi guys. No, I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. Okay.
All right.
Just see.
Yeah, I'm going to just look at the chat for a little bit. Philippines. Iran. It's just incredible that we can sit here and people from all over the world.
It's such a weird feeling. We're just like here in the middle of the forest and yeah, somehow connected to the whole world. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, so what's the weather like right now?
Oh, right now, like today, it's really ugly outside. Actually, it has been raining the whole day, but it has been a little bit more springish here lately, and all the snow is now gone, and that feels really good. But right now, it's a little bit like, yeah, I don't know, like 4 degrees and raining a lot, so not so nice.
Oh, and I can see Emuna says hi. There are people that I know from my live stream.
Oh, from your live streams.
And Krussi. I'm not going to be able to catch everyone here, but we do see it.
Wonderful.
And it's wonderful to see you all.
Yeah, Joachim actually makes live streams on his Instagram from time to time. So everybody who is interested in that and watch him painting a little bit, you can definitely check out Joachim's Instagram.
Rahel from Instagram live stream. Yeah, so this is a bit like that, just 100 times bigger.
Yeah, a little bit bigger. Wow.
So there are 200 people here right now and it's growing. What is your spirit animal?
My spirit animal is a moose since a couple of years. And what is yours?
Beaver.
Yours, beaver. Not sure what that says about us, but
well,
yeah. But I think we can start maybe with some questions. I maybe thought to start with a question from my Patreons. And the question is from Ken, because he asked a really good question, because that is definitely what our mind is circling around most of the time right now. And that is the question, Why are you looking to buy a farm? What would you like it to be? And what is your future vision?
Yes, we can start.
You can start. Okay. So yes, for all of you who don't know, you probably all know by now, we have talked about it so much, that we are dreaming to buy a farm here in Norway. And yeah, for me, it has been a childhood dream, kind of. I'm dreaming about this since I'm really, really small, to have a little farm with horses. And we're dreaming about, just a really special magic place somewhere in the middle of the woods here to where we can really create our own world, basically. And
so there are so many things just attached to the farm, which are the dreams. So the farm is just kind of the starting place for all kinds of different dreams. I would love to have a little garden, and vegetables, and a forest that we can just leave in peace and just have growing. Just all kinds of things, and places where I can paint. There's lots more places for glass and porcelain and oil painting and so on. So it all kind of starts with the farm.
Definitely, yeah.
So that's the dream at the moment, and where all of our focus is.
Yeah, we're kind of not thinking about anything else right now. And I'm really like in the starting holds to start traveling and to start looking out for farms. And so
that's what we're going to do now. We're going to have this live stream, and then afterwards we're going to have a little shop opening.
Yes.
So we're going to have new things in our shop, and then once we've sent stuff away in a week or two or something like that, we are going to be leaving and finding our farm.
Hopefully.
Well, of course we're going to find our farm.
Yes, but that's the plan. That's definitely the plan. Let's see if here are some questions.
All right. Oh, this is going fast. Leena, happy Norwegian Independence Day. Yeah, tomorrow is the 17th of May.
That's true. This is so quick. Do you miss the life in the city?
Oh, right.
Do you miss the life in the city?
I do not miss the life in the city. I lived in a few different cities, and I don't miss any of them. No. Do you miss Hamburg?
No, God, no. No, really, not at all. No, I feel like we're having everything that we need here. So, no, not at all.
Yeah, I think that's the easy answer. People ask, what, don't you miss the shops or the clubs, or just I think the missing the city for a lot of people, it's the convenience of everything being around. But there's nothing of that I actually miss. I mean, of course, you can just go to the store and buy something, but that doesn't make my life any better.
No, and we also figured out that it actually wasn't even so convenient, because I remembered when I was living in the city, I was like jetting around so much all the time, because when I was shopping groceries or so, I would just shop for 1 or 2 days. So it actually...
Yes, much more to do.
Yeah, much more traveling around and running back and forth. And here we're just having all the shops in one little village, and then we're going there twice a week. And I feel like I'm much less running around all the time, because I'm also not forgetting so much.
Is it possible to make a longer relaxation video with pictures of nature? I love watching you both, of course, but one video like this could be amazing on late evening meditation relaxation.
Yeah.
This is a video idea I've been wanting you to do too.
Yeah, Joachim has told me that many times. Yeah, of course, I would love to do that one time. Just see when I find the time. That's a really wonderful idea. I definitely watch those videos as well and really, really love them. Yeah.
Yeah, I love watching videos of just clouds and nature, and so I would love to see your videos for like an hour.
Edwin asks, where can I buy from your web shop? Everything is sold out. Yes, we will launch new products today in a few hours.
Yes.
Then there will be a lot of new products. Joachim has been very busy.
Yeah, so it will be very, very much filled up half an hour or something after this live stream.
Yeah.
We will fill it up, and there'll be a link in this video, and you can go there and see what's there.
Yes. Yes. Lynn asks, would you like for your farm to be a part of a small community, or rather have it be isolated?
So both in a way, right?
Yeah, it should be definitely on its own. I think we don't really like to have like neighbors close by. So yeah, it should be like an own place, but we would definitely really like to have some kind of a connection to a small village or community.
Yeah, exactly. So that the the feeling should be that we're completely in our own world.
Yeah. Definitely.
But at least kind of 20 minutes with a car to somewhere where you can have a coffee and a tea, or and maybe a little theater if there is, or something that there is, yes, a connection to people. But we don't want to live in it. We want to be close to it, but close for us does mean quite far away from a lot of people.
We would love to live in the area of Røros. That's a really, really beautiful old town. I don't know if you should visit Norway one day. I would definitely recommend to visit Røros. It's a lot of, because it has really like this old buildings and a lot of history in the town, and it's really like this. I don't know if you don't know these kind of villages from Harry Potter or so. I feel it's a little bit like that, like with really, really sweet little shops and everything. Yeah. Yeah,
that will be our big city.
Yeah, I would love that.
Because I think we want to farm a little bit further away. So it'll be our farm, and then 10, 20 minutes to a little place where there are kind of a few hundred people maybe.
Yeah.
And then Røros will be 1 or 2 hours away, which will be our big city. Which, I mean, there are a few thousand people living there. But that'll be a big city for us.
Yeah, and it's really touristic, of course, but...
Yeah, but if we're not there that often...
Yeah, so... Ooh, it's very quick. It's going quick. I have to scroll up a little bit because it's...
I just love the vibes. Thank you. Why are my comments on slow mode? Emuna said. Well, there are a lot of people here, and it would go incredibly fast if everyone could do it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason.
We'll get farm cats. I'm not sure Ivy will be that amused about that, so I don't think that was going to happen.
Our dog really doesn't like cats at all, so that would be difficult.
I really think he might have had some bad experience with cats in his life in Romania. So, yeah, he really is like, he hates cats. It's not nice.
No.
For both. Okay.
I'm from Houston, Germany. Do you guys get scared sometimes living in the woods?
Do you?
No, so I find it much more scary in the city.
And, definitely, yeah.
No.
Definitely, I feel very much the same. I'm so scared when I walk alone in the city at night. But here it's not problem.
But I have to admit that I think it's 10 years ago or something, that when I was smaller, I was very much afraid of the dark and being alone in the cabin. But the way I broke with that was I spent a month alone in our family cabin. And eventually you can't be scared anymore. So I kind of got over that.
Shock therapy.
Shock therapy.
Where's Ivy right now?
Ivy? Well,
he's just laying next to us. I don't know if I can show that. He's lying here on the ground.
Ivy's right there.
He's sleeping, so we don't want to wake him.
he can be quite a handful when he's awake, so very happy.
Just let him sleep a little bit.
Aren't you afraid of wild animals? Well, there are almost no wild animals here, the area that we are in. So that, first of all, no. Though sometimes if it's really dark, I find myself singing a bit. Trying to scare off the moose.
Of course.
Otherwise, there will be wolves and bears in the area where we want to live, but they have been hunted close to extinction in Norway for so long that they are so afraid of humans that it's really nothing to be scared of. Sure, you'll get a bit of a feeling, I suppose, if you hear a wolf or something. But I am much more afraid of humans than the animals.
We both like had these periods when we had periods where we really lived on our own, like really, really on our own for several weeks, where we never met anybody. And I think it was for both of us that when we're walking out, you really get a little bit paranoid from people. And we were just, when we walk, someone walks by, we were both just jumping into the bushes.
Yeah, so
so, but that's just in the hardcore times. So.
Did you have any more questions from the Patreon?
Yes, I can see.
And I can answer this quickly. How is COVID going up there? Well, we don't really notice anything up here, to be honest. It took us ages to really notice anything's going on, and our life hasn't changed much because we live so isolated. So we wear our masks in the store, and otherwise, I know it's been hard for everyone, but it hasn't touched us much. It's been difficult visiting family, but otherwise, I think that's the main thing that we have noticed.
Yeah. Yes, one question from my Patreon, from Anita, who would like to know what is our typical day routine.
All right. So a typical day is I will wake up first, and I usually make myself some tea, and I pretty quickly go and start painting. And you?
Well, we also used to meditate in the morning.
That is true. And we still do a meet up.
Yeah, sometimes we just sit on the porch a little bit with a cup of tea when the weather is nice again. And then we both like just going onto our projects. So Joachim is painting and I'm doing my stuff outside the whole day, most of the times. And sometimes like we go to the shop 3 times a week or so to also deliver some post, because of our online shop we're having a lot of post and a lot of packages that we have to send. And yeah, I think our days are quite boring right now. But that is also because why we want to have our farm, because we really feel that we would like to expand our life a little bit and start new projects. And somehow we can't really do that here because we know that we don't want to stay. And then it doesn't make sense to establish a garden or to make further renovations at the house. We kind of want to wait until our farm is there to expand our life. But it was really good for the last year to have this really slow life and not much has happened. So that was really good for me, at least.
Yeah, for me too. I haven't painted as much as I've done this year ever, and just this calm and quiet and no interruptions has been wonderful.
Yeah,
but now we're ready to have a bit more of an active life.
Yeah, definitely. I have to scroll up a little bit again. I'm sorry, there are so many questions.
Oh, people said hello to Aivy.
Oh, yeah. Genau. What helps you be productive and stay on track with your work and plans when you're all by yourselves with no enforced schedule? I think it's so important that you have something that you're really passionate about, because then you don't need a schedule. Then it's just I wake up in the morning and I jump out of the bed because I want to do that. And then I don't need a plan or something or somebody that tells me what I should do. So I think that is the key behind all kind of was ist denn? Laziness. To find something that makes you feel alive, that makes you feel enthusiastic.
Yeah, and for my part, the way I work it's a bit different than a lot of creative people, because it is creative, but it's also kind of an artisanship. So it's a lot of work that isn't, I don't have to think too much about. So if I'm not in a creative mood, I'll just paint some colors on a cup or something, and that really helps me. I have a lot of different things to do, so there'll always be something that motivates me. So for instance, I'll have a painting that I painted on, and I think, no, that's not what I want to do. Then there's something else that I'll want to do. And the main way is just, I have noticed that the more I paint, the more I want to paint. So if I have a few days where I haven't painted and I'm not really motivated, I just sit myself down and just look at everything until I pick something up, and eventually I'll get into it.
Yeah, but I think that's also good, because you're always having this vision of, even if you don't want to paint that day, painting is so important to you that you always at least force yourself to sit in front of it and to let something come to you. So I think finding something that that you will do even on days that you don't want to, that is so important to you that it keeps you going. Maybe that's an answer. Okay, questions. Somebody asks, will you do a being with horses clinic with Sabine at your farm? I have to explain a little bit, because being with horses is like, I'm really into horses, for all of you who don't know. And Sabine Würmann is a woman that I really admire, and she has invented a kind of alternative way of working with horses, which I'm a big fan of. And of course, I would love to invite her over sometimes, but I'm not sure if she would like that too, to have a clinic with horses at our farm. That would be wonderful. I would love that.
Just looking at different comments here, and and there's a lot. We just have to look through it. Sorry.
What kind of farm do you wish to own?
All right. And I can just answer the one first. Will you guys be uploading this live after? Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so what kind of farm are you interested in?
A really small kind of, it can also just be a piece of land, basically, with some fallen down buildings. It has to be, I think what is important to us is that it has to be our place. That when we come there, we really feel this big yes, that this is our place, and it can all be completely fallen apart, but something small. Yes, so no big animal plants or vegetable plants or something. It's really just for ourselves.
No, because we only want horses, and I want a little garden and some vegetables. But the main thing is that we want to stay there, and it can be really run down. I mean, there are a lot of farms in Norway that haven't been used for ages and ages, because the countryside in Norway is much emptier than it used to be. So what's important to us is land, in a way. It doesn't have to be farmland, it can be forest. And we would like to expand that too, so we don't wake up one morning and all the trees will be gone.
Yes, of course.
And the area where the farm is more important than the size of it. So a cozy feeling of where we can really put down our roots. And I think that's the most important for us.
Yeah, that's actually also a dream of ours too. Once we own a farm and once we have the money for it, to buy some forest in the area, to really expand our area where we can also protect some forest from the industries.
Because we would love to have forest that isn't going to be chopped down at all. So Norway looks like it is full of forests. And sure, it is. It's just that it's all been chopped down at some point. There's like 2% of Norway that hasn't been chopped down at some point. and a lot of it looks like plantations. So sure, forestry industry is important to a lot of people, but I would like a lot more forest to just stay forest and being able to just grow, and we would like to participate with that. And protect some forest around us. Do you think your mental health is better since you live so near nature and far from the competition of city life? Yes.
Yes. Big yes, really. It was always like when I came from the city, in the beginning I went a lot of back and forth between Norway and Germany before I really moved here. And it was always then when I came from the city to Norway that something in me really could breathe again. I felt, and I was just, everything was just like relaxing. And of course, but also on the longer terms, I really feel that I have really found to myself again here in a way that I could have never do in a city. I don't know how it's for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. That there's a reason why I don't paint people or even animals into my paintings. It's because just of that feeling, just the nature, just this peace and calm and quiet. That there is, it's just so wonderful, and it's 1,000 times better just to be able to open the door and be outside in the forest. So definitely, that is exactly how it is.
Yeah, and I also feel like, not because in the city I always felt so distracted by so many things. Like you have so many people around you, because I think I'm a very sensitive person, so I always feel a lot of different moods from other people, for example, and that I don't really have good boundaries. So here in nature, it was really good for me to just have this freedom where I can really just feel myself and not being constantly influenced by what other people say or what they feel or what kind of energy is in the room, because I really could just be with myself and the energy of the nature. So that has been really, really healing for me. Yes.
You have to help me to help inspire me to create art again. That's wonderful.
That's really
that's
wonderful.
one of the things that I enjoy the most. If I hear, for instance, if I'm on a live stream or something, and I hear that people have started to be creative again and started painting or doing anything, it's really wonderful. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Unknown asks, do you get overwhelmed by YouTube people knowing you? In the beginning, yes. In the beginning, because it happened so quickly, like I couldn't grow with it. But right now, not anymore, because I really feel that we are all here such a wonderful community. And I mean, also here in the chat, all you guys that you're writing, it's so wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. So we're looking at it and reading it, even if we're not answering everything.
Yeah, I really feel we're such a kind community that I just feel like it doesn't feel overwhelming or so. It's just,
we're starting to know people too now.
Yeah.
There's so many names that I'm recognizing here, and it's just wonderful to be able to invite you guys in here.
Yeah.
And to have this opportunity, this possibility. Watch you both. I really feel I should get out of LA. I can understand that.
Maybe you should. What advice
would you give your younger selves if you want to build a life you love?
Oh, my younger self was definitely a different version from the person that I am now. And I would definitely advise her to not to be so hard with herself, because when I lived back in the city, I tried, like I somehow always knew what is right for me, that I need maybe something else. But I always tried so hard to fit in. And like, it just didn't work. So that is basically because I'm ended up here. But I really tried hard to fit in, and I was so hard with myself because I just didn't manage to fit in and to do the things that people are expecting me to do. So I was really, really hard with myself and put myself down quite a lot. Yeah. So that is maybe an advice. What would be yours?
Patience. My God, I wanted a lot of things, and I wanted them right away. So my advice to myself, the younger self, would be to figure out what I really want, because I wanted different things, and they tugged me in different directions. So to really know what I actually want, and then have patience and get there in slow stages. And I can see now that Kalle has picked up on questions from people.
Yeah, thank you, Kalle. We haven't seen that. So a lot of people are asking if you have any favorite books.
All right.
I actually don't get to read so much, but I love to listen to audiobooks. And I have just been listening to a book from Veit Lindau. He's a German author. The book is called Genesis. I really can recommend this book. I'm not sure if it's out already in English, but in German it is. So that book really, really touched me. And besides of that,
I can jump in. You can think.
Yeah.
So I mean, highbrow wise, I can say I love, for instance, War and Peace with the World, the Big World, and so on. But less highbrow, and I think a lot of people can resonate with that, is Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
Of course. Yes.
So I love books that are huge, big, thick, and create a world that you can just delve into, and you can follow it.
I've been listening to while I'm packing yes. all the packages for our online shop. Then I have been just listening to all the books from Ken Follett. Yeah.
So huge, thick, epic books where you can lose yourself. That's definitely great. I can listen to books while I paint, so I go through a lot of books. And just listen to Lord of the Rings again. And yeah, so there are lots of books, but those are definitely my favorite. They're huge ones, and I mean, War and Peace is one too, so I can heartily recommend that. Let's see here.
What's your favorite season of the year?
Winter.
Winter, minus 2. So I think we're in the right place.
Oh, definitely. So winter here is not one of 4 seasons, really. It is the big season, because it goes for like 6 months. And then we have 3 short seasons. Autumn is one of your favorite ones too, I think.
That's true. I really love the autumn, though it's very short, but it's one of my favorite times, definitely. Why did you move to Norway instead of the other Scandinavian countries?
Well, for me, that's quite easy. I am Norwegian, half Norwegian. So that's my answer.
My answer is basically just because it just happened to be Norway. I got here over a friend of mine, and she lived in Norway. So
it could have been Sweden.
It could have been Sweden, could have been Finland. For me, it's really the nature that got me.
Yeah, and we said too, if we couldn't find a farm here, we would have nothing against Sweden or Finland either.
No.
So it's not that it has to be Norway. It just happened to be Norway.
Yeah, and I love the mountains and the fjords. That's definitely true.
Do you like to cook? Winter is good season to have warm, delicious food. Yes, I like to cook, actually.
I hate to cook.
So that works out very well.
Yes. Yeah, Joachim really, really spoils me with a lot of really, really good food. Every day he's cooking. It's a luxury.
I'm just going to read this comment. It's not a question. It's so true that this community you have built is so positive. People from all around the world connected in one place because of you guys sharing so much love and to each other. Thank you.
Thank you. And, that's wonderful.
That's really nice to hear. Really happy about that.
Should I maybe get a question from my Instagram?
Yes.
Because I also asked on Instagram earlier today. My mobile phone decides to play along.
So how far do you live away from the city? I saw here. Well, it's about 20 minutes from the city, but it's more of a kind of a mid-sized town of I think like 3,000 people. The biggest city nearby would probably be Oslo, and that's 2-3 hours away. Yeah. So from Brazil, I think we're gone quite all over the world here now.
That's also a lot of questions. Which one? That one. Which animals would you like to have on your farm? Well, that's quite a story, because when we started to talk about the farm, Joachim was like, well, and I want to have pigs and woolen pigs. That was really important. And donkeys and chickens. And what else? Goats.
Goats would be wonderful, and a mule.
Great idea.
But yeah, then we kind of started to. Well, Leena told me right away that no, that's way too much work. You want to. I mean, I want to paint the entire day.
Yeah.
I cannot have time for this. So it's going to be
horses, and not more than 4.
No, because we both met at a farm where there were 9 horses, and that's too much.
That's too much.
So I think these kinds of sizes with animals and so on, with chickens and all kinds of animals, that's possible if that's what you want to do. But we have other projects.
Yes. How should I take care of woolen pigs and donkeys the whole day? And I wasn't so into this idea, so it will be horses, and it will be Aivy.
Yeah, he's a handful anyway, so yeah.
Oh, it's going quick again.
Whoa, yeah, it is.
Oh, that's a cute question.
Hello,
from Christina. What do you both love about each other?
So I love Leena's depth. I love the integrity and the honesty and just this incredible heart and passion that Leena has. And she can just feel everything around her, and she knows exactly where I am at. It doesn't really matter what I say. She knows how I'm feeling, and just the way you can see it in her videos. You can just see how she sees nature and how she feels everything around her. And it's just, I noticed that from the very beginning, that just the way she sees life and
getting a little bit uncomfortable here. Thank you.
Just this insight. So yeah, that's what I fell in love with, and I keep falling in love with. And yeah, so that.
Okay, I'm a little bit red now. I really love your enthusiasm. That when you have something that you're passionate about and you're really enthusiastic, or when I'm having a crazy idea, you never said to me, that's not possible, or don't do that. So I love your way of being enthusiastic, and I also love your, I hope I can say that, your sensitivity, that you're really feeling what's around you, and you're really sensitive. You can also definitely see that in his paintings, I think, how much focus you really put on every detail, and your ability to really focus on something. And I also love your logical mind. I think you're very intelligent, and your interest and your constant urge that you want to grow, to develop things, that you never want to stay the same. I really love that. And yeah, I also love your open heart.
Oh. Be decent.
You know, it's 280 people watching, so maybe. Okay.
All right then. Let's see. So it has nothing. Yes, and she's very beautiful.
Thank you.
That's very. Yes. Are you vegan or vegetarian? We are almost vegan.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're very dogmatic about it, but it's definitely something that we're going to be as vegan as we can.
Yeah,
And I've been vegetarian since I'm 5 years old. So I think it's kind of a cute story because I was 5 and I saw a picture of a pig in a slaughterhouse, and I was so devastated to see that as a little girl, and I decided I will never want to eat animals again, and that's how it was. So I'm vegetarian since 20 years now and vegan since a few years.
And I stopped eating meat 2 years ago. I wanted to stop quite a long time before that. But as with a lot of us, it's kind of what I grew up with. And so it's really with Leena that I took the plunge. And of course, now there are so many good substitutes that have really helped me to make the switch.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I actually managed to do it, because I'm not very disciplined. So even though I wanted to make the switch, as long as the food wasn't there, I didn't. And now there is, and so it's easier. So yeah,
Norway has really started to also have these really good how do you say,
substitutes, meat substitutes.
Yeah.
Is it possible to work and travel at your new farm? Maybe.
Maybe
we will see. We haven't entirely decided, but there might be something like that at some point.
Some help needed. We will see.
Yeah, people, I saw that in Kalle's live stream as well. People do keep asking about snakes.
Snakes?
The thing about Norway is that, well, there is one kind of snake here, but if it bites you, it's like a bee sting. It's probably a bit worse, but I have almost never seen any of those. And it's so cold in Norway and long winters that a lot of the dangerous small animals and insects and so on just aren't here. So there's one snake that can have an insect bite, and that's it. So no, there's not very afraid of the snakes here.
Gabriel asks, how do you face the change of season emotionally speaking? Do you think they have something in common with us? Yeah, definitely. Like the seasons really affect our mood. The summers here are really intense. They are really energetical, and that's good. But after that, I'm always very ready for slowing down. So in the summer, you really get filled up with energy and a lot of input and a lot of social stuff. So it's, for me, it's a huge change of my mood during the seasons. And the winter, I'm much more creative, much more in my inner world, much more thinking about stuff, and I really like that. So we're really living with the seasons, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, it's in the summer that we drive around with our van, and so yeah, that's what we want to do much more of as well. Is to live according to how the seasons are, and they're so distinct and clear here that, and you just feel much better if you're not going against what's around you. So I've noticed that if, especially there are kind of in the dark winter months, it's just perfect to just be inside and paint and do those kind of projects, and just to follow the seasons, which, being independent now because we're not actually working for anyone else, we finally can.
Yeah, definitely. I really remember that from the city also, that you're in the winter and you constantly hear also about this, like you have to keep the energy up. And I think that's so nice to allow yourself to be not so energetic in the winter and to just go with what is there. And then the summer comes and all the energy is suddenly there, and you're not in a room with like these neon lights where your whole system gets totally confused. So I really like that. Really go with the seasons.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm new. What do you do for a living?
Well, right now, it's the shop that is mostly carrying us right now.
And Leena makes some money from YouTube and Patreon.
Yeah.
So thank you to the people that are supporting us from there too.
Oh, of course, yes.
It's been wonderful.
That's really helping.
That's a steady stream.
Yes, and I can somehow rely on that. So yeah, Patreon definitely really helps a lot.
And of course, the shop is a major source of income for us. So we have a few different sources of income, and It's going well. Is one or both of you spiritual? Do you have something to say about that? That's a huge topic.
It's a huge
difficult
topic.
one,
Yeah,
but I think
mean,
interesting.
Depends on how do you define spiritual, I would say. I'm definitely not religious, but I'm really interested in all kind of deep questions, if you can say it like that. Like, I would definitely consider myself as a spiritual person, or somebody who's really interested in the mystery of life and what is it that we are really here for? What is this all about? And to really find an answer to this question. So
yeah, for my part, I've been much more logically oriented for long parts of my life, but not truly. And I mean, through Leena, I have found rediscovered, I would say, the more spiritual side, the more intuitive side.
But I think also your paintings are, you can definitely call that spiritual, what you're doing there, really.
And I do love this connection with the bigger. So I think the answer would be yes, but not in a dogmatic form. So it's which is also why it's more difficult to describe properly. So yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Would you tell us something about your painting and photography process? Yes, I can start with painting. I paint from imagination. I have taught myself, so I don't paint the way that other people do, with kind of either after a photo or from nature or something like that. And my process is just an intuitive one where I just start painting something, and it's a lot to do with feeling, and so that's probably what you meant too, with the spiritual part that you can feel there, because it's trying to reflect the feeling when outside and when looking at the sunset and so on. And you have quite an intuitive process too.
Yeah, I like when I'm going out taking pictures, I'm just going out taking pictures. Like, I'm not having, what I want to say is, like, I'm not having a plan. Like, I'm not thinking, okay, I want this motive and I wait for this light to go there and make the picture. But I just grab my camera and just go out and see what comes, and to get creative with what is around me, and to use everything that is there, instead of trying to fake something or to put something in the right place, but to just really, and that's kind of also very intuitive, just see where does the light come from, what is a nice angle, maybe find a nice motive. And that's so wonderful, because every time I'm out in nature, I am discovering something new, something that I haven't seen before, or some kind of animal comes across my way, or so it's definitely a really intuitive process as well. Just go out making pictures and see what's there.
And since you paint from imagination, have you ever made a painting that you felt you painted something similar in the past? Well, yeah, because I paint a lot based on what I did before. So it's a progression, the way I paint. So a lot of things will repeat themselves, but I will try to change it and improve it. So yeah, I suppose, but I don't copy, but things will reappear and you'll see that.
Simple question from Michelle. Does Leena have siblings? No, I don't. Only child.
Kale's video will be up in 2 hours.
Oh,
do check it out. I am looking forward to seeing that myself.
Yeah, you should definitely check out Kale's channel if you haven't already. I'm sure most of you know him.
Yeah, Kale is wonderful. He's been connecting everyone.
I really feel so, yeah.
So that's great.
Do you think the university contributed to you being good at cameras, or is it most self-taught? It's mostly self-taught, really. I don't really like to say that, but I didn't really learn so much at university, or I learned a lot of things that are not useful for me today. So most of what I'm doing now is self-taught, and just practicing a lot, and just going out and do it, basically. Yes.
Joachim, I love your art, and Leena, thank you for your beautiful videos. You both contribute to my happiness. That is really nice.
It's wonderful. And another question is, how did you make the jump to start a YouTube channel as someone who suffered from social anxiety? Yes, because I don't know how it's for you, but for me, it has always been that I've never been really like having this really social anxiety from people, like one-to-one, but it was more groups of people that were just overwhelming for me. And at the same time, I always had this feeling that I want to just share something. And yeah, for me, somehow this didn't distract each other. It was not sure where I'm going with this.
Well, the fact that that kind of an anxiety doesn't necessarily translate into, so it's not that situation, I suppose, when you're having a YouTube video and you I know Kate Flowers in Kalle's podcast talked about this, that when you have a camera and you're telling a story, she kind of imagines being in contact with a good friend or something instead of actually talking to thousands of people. So I think that's probably a part of it. It's just that it's not the same trigger.
Yeah, and I'm not like, what is stressing me out is like when a lot of people, like in big groups, like crowds, then I feel like I'm just overwhelmed. So I'm not sure if that even is social anxiety. I don't think so, actually. So yeah, it's not really that.
And I can say, for someone who has felt a lot of anxiety myself in my life, is that not being ruled by the anxiety is a big help. So sure, not to really just put yourself in the situation of being re-traumatized all the time, but doing something that's a bit outside of your comfort zone
definitely
really helps. Instead of constantly following the anxiety. I know there were times when I didn't want to leave the house, but going a bit against it is very helpful. So I think you've noticed that too, the fact that sometimes you're really nervous about trying something new, but you still do it. Like
going into the learning zone, I think, not in the panic zone. That is really important to just really take care of yourself when it's getting too much, but really, like you said, just sometimes really push yourself a little bit on the limit.
So no, anxiety is a huge problem, and I think now in the Corona time it's even more. And I know that feeling, just not being able to leave the house. But I think it's so important to find something that's really important to you and do it, even if even if it's hard. And I know that's awful to hear sometimes, when you really just you can't push yourself. But then maybe go around it and try something that's not as scary, but
in a kind way.
In a kind way, be kind to yourself. So
that's definitely also what I did in the beginning of the YouTube channel, in the beginning, and it still is a little bit like that. It was really, really weird for me to talk in front of a camera, but I really, really felt that I want to do this. I want to do YouTube, and just find a way, just maybe talk a little bit about, like, my first video where I talked. We went to the waterfalls, and it was really just like it was really just like some kind of boring talk that I did in there. So just start really slowly and really
baby steps.
Baby steps. Yes.
I'm so grateful to find your channel. I finally had the courage to spend some time in Himalayan village after seeing your videos.
Oh, that's wonderful. I would love to visit Himalaya one day.
So our travel wishes are, I think, especially for Leena, because warm places are just not an option.
I just faint.
So it either needs to be far up or north.
Yes, and much north, it's not.
It's not really possible. So
it's really, I can't really handle heat. My body is just
So Himalaya might be one of the few places further south that we can visit. So what is your favorite country apart from Norway? That is not that easy.
Iceland is mine.
I visited China once, and I really fell in love with it. And I do like Germany, I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Iceland I haven't visited yet, but I really want to.
Yeah.
And maybe you can say something about that too. About we had a question about what kind of horses we want.
Yeah. What could that be now?
So, Leena, what kind of horses do you want?
Yeah, we think definitely about having some Icelandic horses, because I do love horses that have some temperament, and they definitely also have to be used to the climate here. So
and they are.
Yeah, that would be the answer. It will probably be Icelandic horses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Have either of you visited the United States? Yes, I have. I have visited Washington State and New York State and drove through Pennsylvania, but not a lot. But I think United States is still kind of far south, so I think Canada would probably.
Yeah, but Canada, I would love to visit one day.
Definitely. It's kind of Norway-like, but huge, so that would be cool.
Yes.
Let's see, we're just looking at some comments here.
To scroll up a little bit, what was, because when we answer the questions, we miss so much. Thank you so much for everything that you bring in here and your questions. It's really wonderful. Thank you so much.
And from all over the world. And I can see that there are more and more people joining us now.
Wow. Welcome.
So welcome to all of the ones that have just joined us. Oh yeah, someone asked us about what kind of jobs we've done before.
Yeah, when now
that was a different question. There were a few different ones.
Okay.
So I can just very quickly say that I have worked at a gas station, I have worked at a supermarket, I have worked at a subway, and in lots of kindergartens. And Leena?
Before I moved to Norway, I worked at some agencies, like some creative agencies, some web design agencies, but that all didn't last very long because I wasn't really good at it, to be honest. I just sitting in these offices, it wasn't my thing. And then as I figured out that I just can't do something like that, I was like sick after that. And then I discovered that working self-employed is probably the only option that will ever work for me. So during my studies, I started my own business in video production and web design. And I started working for people I knew. And yeah, that kind of established over the years. And that I also did when I moved to Norway. Yeah.
Is your plan to earn money with the farm? If so, how? Or do you plan to maintain the shop as your main money source? So I think the answer to that is that the farm will be such a huge part of the videos.
That's true, of course.
And Leena has huge plans with the videos, with the farm, so in that sense, but we're not going to make money directly from the farm. I would like to have an actual shop close to the farm at some point. But yeah, so I think it's going to feature in the videos more than that it's going to be its own source of income.
But I think that would be so wonderful. I mean, imagine when you guys are traveling here in Norway one day, maybe, then you could just stop by Joachim's shop and say hello and visit, take a look at some art pieces. And yeah.
Yeah, so that is a big dream. So I would love to have something like, to have a wonderful little Harry Pottery store where people can just hit a little bell and then I can actually say hi to you all in person. So in that sense, yeah. So the shop is definitely going to remain a big part of the income. It's going to be my job, and I would just love to continue that and make it bigger. Would you like your horse farm to be open to people like Tina? So you probably know about Tina's horse farm, which is where we met.
Yeah, and that is a farm where she also offers like kind of retreats and people that can come by. But that will not happen at our farm. It will be a private place.
Yeah, much more. So maybe sometimes in the summer we will have some people over.
Yeah, maybe. Or what I could imagine is to have some kind of courses or clinics, like some kind of short events at our farm maybe. But no, it will not be an open place. But Dream Valley is still an open place, because Vivian, a friend of ours, has taken over the place, and she has also a lot of plans with gardening and how do you say permaculture? Permaculture.
Yeah.
That was the word.
Yeah, and it's going to be quite close to our farm, so maybe we will see you guys at Vivian's farm.
Yeah.
Should we invite Aivy at some point?
Yeah, Ivy. If you would like to come here.
Ivy,
let's be here.
Come on.
Not sure.
He's a bit tired.
You can jump up here maybe.
Oh, okay. Ivy,
come here.
Oh.
Oops. There he is.
So this is Aivy. He is a Romanian street dog. Was a Romanian street dog. Now he's very much a house dog.
Yeah, a really spoiled house dog. Still, you stink a little bit. Still wet, because we were out in the rain earlier today.
Wet dog. So yeah, Aivy is our house companion here. Joachim, did you live most of your life in Norway or Germany? So most of my life in Norway. I was born in Austria, and I have lived in Germany for about 1.5 years. Oh.
Yes, you are very cute, Ivy. But yes, I think we are now streaming an hour.
Yeah, we have.
Maybe this is it for today.
I think so.
Thank you so much, everybody who was here with us today. Thank you so much for all your beautiful questions. We will definitely do that again, I think. It was a lot of fun. Nice. It was really, really nice. And make sure to have a look in our shop if you like, because we will now publish some new art pieces in our shop, and they will be online in about 15 minutes. So if you want, have a look there to see. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, that was really wonderful, and it's been such a lovely chat.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Kalle.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was really a great help. Wonderful. We're so glad to hear.
And thank you, Krasi. I think you just become a Patreon.
You did?
Yes, I saw a message. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was very kind of you.
Wonderful.
And everyone is saying thank you and goodbye here in the chat, and that's really wonderful. So yeah, this was really, really nice. We were both quite nervous today, and we've been preparing for the stream.
Yeah.
And the time just flew by.
Wonderful. Okay, then I hope you're having a nice evening, and we will see you very soon. Hopefully also in a new video very soon. Currently working on that.
All right then.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.